So in today's video, I want us to talk about one of the main reasons that actually made me to blue two of my trading accounts or two of my Profirm accounts. All right, this is a rule which, if you are not careful, you will even violate the rule without even knowing you are actually violating the rule. All right, which is known as the 5% daily rule. As you guys can see on the screen, this account I was already up by almost about 6% because I needed phase 1, I was supposed to make 10%, and phase 2, I was supposed to make 5%. On phase 1, I was already up by almost about 7%, and the following day, I discovered that I lost the entire account, even though I was already up by almost about 7%. So what happened? It was because of the daily drawdown. All right, so I'm going to be explaining to you guys step by step what is the daily drawdown and the hidden secret, which if you don't know, you blow your account without even knowing. 90% of the people that I've spoken to have actually lost their Profirm account or their challenges because of this particular rule. Perfect. So what is the daily drawdown? You know, when you actually start a Profirm challenge, you have what they call the daily drawdown and you have the overall drawdown. The daily drawdown on 90% of Profirms is always 5%. All right, 5% of the entire account, and the overall drawdown based on the Profirm, averagely again for 90% of Profirm is 10%. Meaning, we're going to be taking hypothetically a $100,000 account, right? Meaning, if you have a $100,000 account and the daily drawdown is 5%, it means within that particular day, you can't lose more than $5,000 because 5% of $100,000 is $5,000, right? That's the daily drawdown, and the overall drawdown is 10%. Meaning, whether it's going to be between, if that Profirm is giving you 30 days to trade the account, it means within that 30-day interval, you can't lose more than 10% of the entire account, meaning you can't lose more than $10,000. So that's the overall drawdown, right? But the main one which has caused many people to blow the account is the daily drawdown, all right? Because when it comes to the daily drawdown, there are two ways in which Profirms measure the daily drawdown. They measure the daily drawdown according to your balance, and they measure your daily drawdown according to your equity. All right, so they can either choose your Profirm based on whichsoever Profirm you are using. They can choose to measure your daily drawdown based on your balance, or they can measure your daily drawdown based on your equity. So when you're signing up with any Profirm, that is the first question you need to ask. You should be able to ask them questions that make them know that this is a good trader. Just from the questions you ask your Profirm, they will already know that no, we can give this person $1 million, the person will be able to trade. So the first thing you sign up, just go on the all Profirms have the chat option, right? Just go on the chat option and you ask them, hello, I just signed up for your I want to sign up. I'm doing some inquiries about your Profirm. Is your daily drawdown measured based on balance or equity? Okay, so let me explain the differences between the 5% daily drawdown measured according to the balance or measured according to the equity. Each Profirm choose whether to measure according to the balance or according to the equity, not both. Let's take, for example, in a case where your Profirm is measuring the 5% daily drawdown according to balance, meaning at any point in time, whether you're up by plus 10% or you're up by plus 8%, and then the next day you lost 9%. If it is measured according to the balance, meaning, okay, see, let's take this particular example. If it is measured according to the balance, which is the safest, it means if within a day you are up with 7%, it means your account will be now on $107,000. All right, your account is up on $107,000. What besides you the following day now, while trading, maybe the market didn't go on your favor, and now you lost 8% of the account. You lost 8% of the account. You were up with $107,000, and now you lost 8%, or now you lost $8,000. $8,000, it means your account has even gone below $100,000. Your account is now on $99, all right, on $99,000. All right, so now you've already lost 1% of your account. At that point in time, since the daily drawdown is 5% of your balance, you haven't broken that particular rule, because it is 5% of your balance, not 5% of your equity. 5% of your balance, meaning you are still safe so long as you haven't gone below $95,000. Does it make sense? You are still safe. You can still come back the following day and recover that particular account so long as you haven't gone below $95,000. That is when the 5% rule is measured according to the balance. Now, this is the most risky, which has caused me to actually lose 2 accounts before I could actually figure it out, when it is measured according to equity. Okay, how is it measured according to equity? Let me take the same example. Let's just assume today you are already, remember phase 1, you need to make about 10%. So let's just assume today you're already up with plus 7% or plus $7,000. Now your account is on $107,000. And the following day, unfortunately, the following day when you come to trade now, you lost 8%, or you lost $8,000, or even the $7,000. The following day, you lost even the $7,000. The $7,000, even though you were already up with plus $7,000 and you lost $7,000 the following day, your account is now on $100,000 the same way it was. You haven't blown any part of your money. You haven't blown any part of the $100,000, but you lost the account. That's crazy, right? But you lost the account because the 5% daily rule is measured according to your equity. Remember, at the close of the day, what was your equity? Your equity was on $107,000. If you measure 5% of $107,000, it is going to be about $5,200 or $5,300 or something. Meaning, if you come back the following day and you are trading and you lost more than $5,400, also you blow the account, because the account is measured now according to the account equity, not the original balance, which is $100,000. Do you understand? So even if you come back the following day and you were up with $7,000 and you lost $6,000, you're still going to be up with $101,000. But you lost the account. You've already breached the rule. They will suspend you because you've blown more than 5% of the equity, which were of the high mark equity, which was $107,000. Does it make sense? So there's no problem with this. You just need to know how to maneuver around it. You just have to know how to navigate when you face situations like this. So for me, 90% of the pro firms that I'm using, they measure, there's no problem in them. They have to safeguard their equity. They have to safeguard their capital. So there is no problem in them measuring the 5% drawdown according to the equity. The only problem is when you don't understand, or when they don't make it very, very clear. All right. So when they make it very, very clear, or when you ask the question and you actually know that they measured the 5% daily drawdown according to the equity, this is what you have to do. At the end of the day, you need to be able to check your account balance, and you calculate 5% of that account balance, or you need to be able to check your account equity. Even if your trades are not yet closed, even if your account is still fluctuating, all right? Let's just say you have a $100,000 account, and by the end of the day, I think it used to be 5 p.m. Eastern time. 5 p.m. Eastern time. For GMT time is almost about 12 midnight GMT. Your broker or your pro firm will be able to tell you. But averagely it's around 5 p.m. Eastern time, or about 11 p.m. GMT, all right? Or like 10 or 11 p.m. GMT. At that particular time, they reset the daily drawdown limit. And at that particular point in time, whether you still have trades which haven't been closed or you've closed the trade, they are all called floating profit. So even if you have 100,000 and by the end of that particular time, you have plus $7,000, their system start tracking your daily drawdown from that $107,000, even though the trades haven't been closed. So now, if you're somebody who take a lot of risks like me, and maybe you have a big retracement, the market will retrace against you by just $6,000. Even though by the time the market is retracing against you by plus $6,000, you're still going to be up by plus $1,000. But that retracement is already more than 5% of your account. All right, it's already more than 5% of your account equity. So you still lost the $200,000 or the 300. In my case, it was $200,000, and another one I lost was $100,000. So I lost a total of $300,000 evaluation account because of this rule. All right, but once you pay attention, anytime, that's what I always say in forex trading, you never fail. You either learn or you earn. At that particular point, I was able to learn the hard way because I check on YouTube and nobody has been able to explain that particular rule in detail. So when I found out, I was able to talk to the pro firm, and I discovered that, okay, they are measuring their daily drawdown according to their equity. And now I step back, and since most of my pro firms, sometimes I trade with my robot, sometimes even on my robot itself, the people who are using Paytrex Pro, you guys will be able to see on the latest version, which is going to be on your dashboard, right? Even on the back end of the robot, I've already put a section where you put a percentage of the equity, which at any point in time where the market goes below that percentage, the robot will just automatically close your trade. All right. So if I'm up by plus $7,000 and the market my account now is on plus $107,000, the robot will start tracking from that $107,000. I told the robot that, okay, if the market goes against me by just 4.5%, I don't want it to go up to 5%. So now I put it at the level of 4.5%. I just put it on the back end of the robot on prop backup. I just put 4.5%. The robot will just start tracking that equity, meaning at any point in time the market retraces against me and just go below 4.5%, the robot will just automatically liquidate my positions, and now I'm down by negative 4.5%, or I've lost 4.5%. I'll come back the following day, and remember, the daily drawdown is 10%. All right, the daily drawdown is 10% of your equity, meaning even though I've lost 4.5%, I can come back the following day and I still have 5.5% risk to be able to recover the account. That's why it is always advisable for you to preserve your capital to come back the following day to trade than to blow it on one trade, or than for you to lose the account. Because in most cases, I've been able to lose even 4.5% of my account. I'll be able to stop there. Then when I come back the following day, the 5.5% that is left, I'll be able to use that to even recover the loss and even pass phase 1, phase 2, and get the account even funded. So when you see that your loss is already going closer to 5% of your equity, stop for that day completely. Stop for that day and come back the following day. By the time you are coming back the following day, your daily drawdown will be resetted, and at that point in time, you still have a span of almost about 6% to recover that loss, and boom, you are still making money. And at the end of the day, you pass phase 1, phase 2, and you'll be able to get funded. So that is the key thing you need to. This particular rule has caused a lot of people to blow accounts, including myself. So the next time you want to be able to take your pro firm account challenge, ask your pro firm if they measure the 5% daily drawdown according to the balance or the equity. Be able to understand the differences, and once you're able to understand these differences, there is never going to be a day where you blow that account because of a drawdown limit or because of a daily drawdown limit. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to be able to enjoy more pro firm content, make sure you click on this particular playlist. Click here to watch another video which I made about pro firms. You can follow the link below to join me on Godlove University. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll be able to see you guys on these other videos. Peace.